wash, and wax. Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. Today we have this beautiful big Bronco Raptor that needs a bit of tender loving care.
A beautiful big Bronco. Yeah, I like the alliteration there. I think this Bronco is really gonna like the tender care that we give it. Incredible suds, foaming it on, rinsing it, foaming it again, contact wash, rinse off, show winning wax. Why are we gonna do it, Ivan?
It needs it. It's dirty. Now, I don't know if this is a mall crawler or an actual off-roader, but it's equipped to go off-road, and looking underneath, I think it's been off-road a couple of times. That being said, we want to make it look as good as possible, and this black paint, when we put the show-winning wax on it, just glows.
Look, this black paint up close is full of swirls, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, we're not polishing today. So a great facet of our show-winning wax, it can fill in some of those scratches temporarily to give your paint a glow, no polishing required.
Exactly. Nick, let's get this nice and white with foam.
Ivan, you're not one for the foam show all the time. You're kind of known as the godfather of rinseless wash. Why use incredible suds?
It's fun, first of all, and getting inside these wheel wells and these wheels. I mean, come on, I'm a 5-spoke kind of guy. There's a lot more than 5 spokes going on here. So I blasted them with incredible suds. And speaking of blasting with incredible suds, I don't think I've ever used more foam on one vehicle than my own bus. So,
and maybe you're having fun too.
It is fun, but at the same time, there's a lot of surface area to cover here.
Yep.
And it's all that surface area that's the issue. Now we have to rinse, because we do a foam, rinse, foam. So we're gonna rinse this foam off, take the grit that was on the surface off, leaving just a bit of traffic film, then we'll be able to do the contact wash. If you wanna refill this, sir. So next, we need to rinse this off. Again, having to use the platform. The vehicle's a little on the tall side. Nick, actually, you might want to start cleaning those wheels. That way, I can come back like Tuesday or Wednesday when you're done.
These are gonna drip forever, aren't they?
Yeah.
So surely we're done with all this water and foam, right, Ivan?
No, we've just done one foam and one rinse.
Oh boy.
Of the foam, rinse, foam. This is a big vehicle. And you're used to doing your Jeep. You thought your Jeep had lots of little areas and fun things to do. This one has your Jeep beat.
All right, so if we're gonna foam again.
Yes.
Yeah, Ivan, this has the Jeep beat. It's lifted, it's got beefier tires, the fender flares are nice and wide. It's a lot of surface area, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is. Nick, what gives?
I didn't go too crazy with the foam, did I?
You mixed it, and normally it's like comes out like shaving cream.
Actually, Sylvie mixed it. I had it in my hand, and I watched her very, very lightly pour incredible suds, and I thought maybe there's something she knew that I didn't. I would have done twice as much.
Pretty much, but still, it will do the job.
The second foam doesn't have to be everything, right? We're just looking for a lubricity under the wash media.
Yeah, under the wash media, and then eventually under the decontamination towel.
Actually, Ivan, I had to put you on a foam timeout. I got a little concerned that you are starting to change camps and become a foam guy and not a rinseless man. And before you lose your bearings, I was like, no, we just got to make the foam a little runnier. Otherwise, he's going to be the foam king. He's going to be
actually, there's nothing wrong with runny foam. The original mixture we did to get the thumbnail shot, so we have to attract people. But while you're here, if this is your first time and you were attracted by that, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, maybe give us some hype points too.
These are some of the most elaborate wheels we've had on the channel, Ivan.
They are. Once clean, I'm sure they look great, but getting them there is gonna be a bit of work.
I can't wait to hear your technique.
Start at one area and work your way around. There's not much more to do with these. Now the wheel and body brush living up to its name, even on these intricate wheels, getting in between all these spokes. While I'm down here with the wheel and body brush, Nick, I'm gonna go over these running boards on my way from one wheel to the other.
Do you think anyone's ever seen a vehicle like this with wheels like this and thought, wow, that looks awesome, and then regretted it for the cleaning difficulty later?
Yes. But you know, when you have wheels like this, you have paid a lot of money for them, so you appreciate them. This is one vehicle designed for the perfectly safe brush.
Is this possibly safe?
As the name implies, Nick, it's perfectly safe. Don't worry, the sound you're hearing is because this is a textured roof.
The foam rinse foam process sets us up so well for very little left on the paint to contend with. What is that we're actually moving around with our agitation step?
Right now, we're just removing traffic film.
Sounds like a fancy term. What is that?
Oils, greases, asphalt from the road, etc., getting up on the paint and sticking to it. The grit or anything that could cause damage to the paint is long gone with the foam rinse foam.
Ivan, I've reached what I can reach on the hood. If you could take care of the rest.
Yeah, no problem. Now the brush also carries a lot of moisture with it, a lot of lubrication. It's one vehicle, Nick, though, that you don't have to bend down too much to do the rocker panel.
Well, with the perfectly safe brush, it makes the lowers so easy anyway.
Yeah. See what you mean about the hood there, Nick.
It's very tall, this vehicle.
I have cars that are lower than this hood. In fact, 2 of them at the moment.
Now, while Ivan's still doing my job for me, I've started a sneak attack. I've actually taken the perforated synthetic decontamination towel out of my bucket, and I've actually continued to wet the paint with Incredible Suds. So Incredible Suds is my lubricant. If it's dried up on the panel, you don't want to do this. But if you have fresh Incredible Suds on the surface, which is really easy, just take your Incredible wash mitt, put it in your bucket, and then disperse it like I've done. I'm actually plucking contaminants, really exfoliating this paint. Ivan, it's a good step before you wax.
Right, before putting any protection on, it's always good to decontaminate.
Now we could use iron remover, we could use rinseless wash. Why am I just doing Incredible Suds? Why is that safe?
It's safe because of all the lubrication Incredible Suds has.
Is it effective?
Very effective.
Why would I want to do this again?
Better bonding of the wax, better durability of the wax, and better finish as well.
Yeah, your paint will actually look better after decontamination, even without putting a protectant on there. It just brightens up the paint, right? We get bonded contaminants plucked off into our perforated synthetic decontamination towel. And after 4 panels, we just switch the side, every panel. And I'm gonna need a ladder for sure to get to upper panels. Yeah, we just one side of the towel per panel, and then you redunk in your bucket.
Yeah, there's a bit of contamination on this paint.
Just gonna make sure I get the windshield decontaminated for sure. That's where the bug guts like to call home. So that's done. Make sure that's nice and decontaminated as well.
Now with the quad fold towel, I do a panel, I flip to another quadrant of the towel, and keep going to the next panel. When I've used all 4 sides of my towel, I dunk it back in my wash bucket, refreshing it and getting the contaminants off the surface, because as soon as you flood it, it releases those contaminants. Then I can move on to the next section. We've foamed, we've rinsed, we've foamed, we've decontaminated. It's time to rinse again. The way the water is sitting on this vehicle, if we were to try to dry it, we'd probably be spending an hour drying this vehicle. Now I know we're gonna be waxing it, but there's something you can do before a wax, and that is actually apply quick beads. It's gonna actually provide longer protection. The wax is gonna do the filling, but the quick beads is gonna make this easier to dry. And this vehicle needs a drying aid. Look how the water is just sitting there.
Yes.
So, quick beads, here we go. If you wanna go around and spray quick beads everywhere, I'll follow you with the pressure washer. First thing I'm gonna do is rinse the wheels, get the quick beads spread there, and then the body I'm gonna do is one fell swoop going down the side. One thing to take note, we're putting wax on top of quick beads. You don't necessarily want to put quick beads on top of wax. You can, it's not a problem, but it's only gonna last as long as the wax underneath it. Quick beads will last much longer than the wax. That's why we're putting on first. Plus, drying this would be a nightmare.
Ivan, what should my quick beads spraying technique be?
On this vehicle, because the vehicle was so dead when it came to beading, unfortunately, you're gonna have to nick it and do a lot.
I can do that.
Yep. But at the same time, you can see Nick has sprayed the quick beads on, and it's already starting to bead just about everywhere. I'm gonna be going at about a 45-degree angle, and you'll see a line of froth. I'm pushing that line of froth along the vehicle. Now, Nick, if you wanna come back over here just for a second, okay, spray the back of this. Yeah, good.
Like that?
Yep. Nick also did the wheels on the way by, so. Keep rinsing those till we don't get the little line of froth, and then I'm gonna push that line of froth to the front of the vehicle. Then rinse back down, because I don't want any streaking on the surface. For the front, I'm gonna go across, and then I'm gonna do the hood, basically going up the windshield. Then rinse it back down, wait for Nick to move a bit of water there. Then repeat the operation. I'm gonna go from the front to the back on this side, because that's how Nick sprayed it. This vehicle is not for the faint of towel. That's why we have the drying blanket.
Not a drying towel, a drying blanket. That sounds pretty serious.
It is. This vehicle, there's a lot of surface area here. So, we may be going through more than one towel. The drying blanket will actually hold a gallon of water. That's a lot of water.
Ivan, you saw the paint pooling and you knew that was not gonna be easy to dry. I wouldn't have gone there like that. I would have thought, you know, I don't wanna spend more time, I just wanna get to waxing. You knew this would save us time. What did you see, and how can that help someone at home?
Well, we saw that the water was just literally dead on the surface, just sitting there.
Pooling.
Pooling. It's just, this was a hydrophilic vehicle. And that makes it very, very difficult to dry. Plus, in the shop here, we have extremely high humidity. It's pouring rain outside. That makes it so that this vehicle is not easy to work on. By adding the quick beads, first of all, we put actually a good foundation for the wax. The wax is gonna last longer because of it. And at the same time, when the wax does wear away, the quick beads is there. Plus, it makes drying a lot easier for us.
The paint looks better, Ivan, and I'm like, why is that? We didn't do it. Oh, we had the quick beads. That's why it looks better.
Right, exactly.
What does the quick beads do to paint to give it more pop and shine?
It adds a ceramic sealant, and it makes the paint super slick.
What makes the paint more enjoyable to dry? Water spot remover first, or quick beads first before your drying blanket?
Decontamination that we did, so mechanical decontamination, because if you have bonded contaminants on the surface, no matter what you're putting on the surface, it's not going to be easy to dry. So the decontamination helped us a lot. But yeah, Quick Beads definitely is a better drying aid than the water spot remover, because there are instances where even after water spot remover, the paint does not bead, does not sheet, the water just sits there. Because it's not adding any protection at all. All it's doing is removing minerals from the surface. And we know this vehicle, we're not going to be polishing it. Adding the water spot remover step would have necessarily helped us. Now, of course, it's going to make the vehicle better. More decontamination you do, the better it is. But on the other hand, I knew the Quick Beads was going to be the easy way out. And providing a base of protection for the wax. Now, our wax is designed, you can even put it on top of a ceramic coating. Our wax doesn't contain any abrasives, which is what you want putting on top of a ceramic coating. Plus, it has none of the really harsh solvents that can damage ceramic coatings. Now, for those of you that are wondering, why would I put a wax on top of a ceramic coating? It's a great question. Why would you put a wax on top of a ceramic coating, Nick?
Well, the thing about a wax is it's not permanent. So because it's not permanent, if you park next to sprinklers a lot and have concerns about water spotting, you're actually gonna get the sprinkler into the pores of the wax then, as opposed to the coating.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of, scuff off?
Yeah.
And then those water spots will go away. Plus, if you like the filling properties of a wax, it'll give a glow to your coated paint as well.
Definitely. We call it a show-winning wax because it has won a lot of shows, but at the same time, what it does is it fills those little micro imperfections. No, it's not gonna fill a big, huge scratch, but it fills those micro imperfections, making it so your paint glows and shines, has a depth to it.
Now we have to blow this car out, right? There's no way we're gonna get it all with a towel.
We could get it all with a towel. It might take a couple days for the drips. So yes, let's get out the blowers and do what we can, especially for these wheels. Nick, the next time one of us on camera says a Jeep is difficult to dry, please remind us of the Bronco Raptor.
I wish the owner of this well in their cleaning endeavors.
This is a commitment to clean. When you own one of these and you're washing it by yourself, it's a commitment.
Okay, what's next, Ivan?
Applying the wax.
How much wax do we need, Ivan?
A lot less than you think.
So Ivan's putting 3 drops of DIY Detail show-winning wax on my jeweling pad, on my dual action sander. What's the technique? What's the strategy?
Spread it as thin as you humanly can. The less you put on, the better it is. Now, we'll stay away from this heavy textured plastic, but these fender flares we can wax. They're a light texture, that'll be good. And you can do the heavy textured plastic, it's gonna be a little more difficult to wipe off. And they're already protected with Quick Beads.
That's a nice way to build in redundancy and pick and choose what you may want to do on this job.
Right, because putting the wax on that is not going to protect it more than the Quick Beads does. And at the same time, we're not going to get more gloss and glow out of it like we are with paint.
So we don't need to wax the windows even though we could, because we've already protected them with Quick Beads.
Right.
So we're just going after the paint here.
We're just going after the black glossy paint and the fender flares.
Okay. How much do I want my pad to spin?
As long as you have backing plate rotation. Now we both have tools in our hands. This is a wax. Wax should be meditative. It should be fun to apply. It's fun with the machine. And at the same time, we could do this by hand. But
the red applicator in your hand.
Yeah, the red applicator in your hand, apply it by hand. It's very meditative. If you have that sort of time, go for it. But if you're a detailer or you like playing with power tools, these are inexpensive. They're under, that one was under $50. It uses the DIY batteries. This one was about $70. It came with 2 batteries, so you're good to go.
Do I need to go any more than 1 pass?
Yeah, because we want to spread it out a little more. The polishing aspect of it, where there's no abrasives, so it's not polishing. It's just you got it on a little thick in one area, so you want to thin it out and bring it to another. So an example, the hood here, I've got a lot on. So when I'm done this fender, I'll come back and redo the hood a little bit to actually put more wax back into my pad to spread it to the door. So on the hood is a little too thick, so I'm picking up that excess wax that I laid down because I had the 3 drops on my pad here. You see it's thinning out, and I'll bring that wax over to the door. Be very careful when you're working around the mirrors, around the door handles, to not get a drip. If you see a drip starting to come down, wipe it off with a towel before applying the wax. Now the filling ability in our wax is thanks to the carnauba that's in it. And the fact that there's no harsh solvents, it's not taking away from the filling ability of the carnauba wax. Remember, this isn't a cleaner wax. It's not cleaning anything because we already have cleaned the vehicle. We've decontaminated it. This is for filling. This is for looking good at the show. And now I'm starting to be really too thin. I'm just gonna add 1 drop, not 3, 1. How are you doing over there, Nick?
I'm ready for my 1 drop.
We're not gonna show Nick the size of my drop. Let's see how big his is. Yeah, so Nick's drop is a little excessive.
Okay. So don't do that?
No, that's a little too much.
It's actually really fun to apply wax with a machine. I would say more fun than wax on, wax off by hand. If you want to wax on, wax off, by all means, it's just going to take longer, Ivan, and it just feels like the machine is quite meditative. This cordless Amazon special takes our batteries. I mean, it's great.
They're quiet.
Quiet and smooth, yeah.
It's taken us 10 minutes to do this. It's not a long process. This was actually quick enough that we're going to have to wait for the wax to set up. Now, doing it by myself or Nick by himself would have been a good timing, but at a team of 2, we're actually a little too quick.
Now it's time for Nick's favorite wax removal towel.
Yeah, Nick's got a brand new one. I've got one that's got a bit of life experience to it. They both work fine. Let's give it a try.
Oh.
This paint's metallic. I never saw that before.
What a great towel to remove your wax.
It is.
It bites in, it's gentle, it works great on glass. Obviously, it's known as Nick's favorite glass towel, among other names. But what makes it great at cleaning glass also makes it great at taking off this wax. Wow.
Yeah.
How long should one wait to remove wax, and why would one use our show-winning wax, Evan?
Well, I like to wait at least 15 minutes. That way, it's easier to wipe off. The longer you wait, actually, the easier it is. But why apply a wax? Look at this, Nick. It's glowing.
Ivan, you can see my reflection. There is a glow to waxed paint.
Yeah, definitely. There's a reason we call it the show-winning wax. If you put this on your car is a nice car to begin with, before show, your paint is just gonna be spectacular. Even though you have a coating on it, even though you have sealants, etc., when you put a wax on, it changes the game. Wipes off effortlessly, which is what you want in a wax. It shouldn't be a struggle. Now, if you put too much on, it may be a bit of a struggle. Nick's had that experience before, putting too much on, and it was a struggle, but luckily, we have a way around it.
It's called Nick's favorite wax removal towel.
Well, that, and if you did put too much on, and even the wax removal towel isn't doing the job for you, there's one other thing you can do. Grab a rinse and stamp and towel, lightly go over it, then level with the Nick's favorite glass towel. Or Nick's favorite wax towel today. It's also been called Nick's favorite app towel. Let's just say it's Nick's favorite towel.
Ivan, you can use this for all these different things. What are your tips for laundering Nick's favorite glass towel, Nick's favorite app removal towel, Nick's favorite wax towel?
Put it in your laundry machine with your other microfiber towels and some Renaissance from Detail Co. I don't subscribe to the, you have to do this batch of towels this way and this batch of towels the other way. They're all microfiber, they're all dirty, they're all clean when they come out. Now the other advantage of putting on the wax nice and thin is, do you see any wax around these handles? Do you see any wax in the cracks? No, because we didn't put enough to have residue. That's what we want to do.
And it's hard to show on camera, but it does fill in the micro scratches. I mean, it looks less scratchy when you look at this paint, which means the light's gonna refract in a more even pattern and appear shiny to the eye.
Yep.
I'm sure there's more to it with a wax than that, but basically when you have fewer scratches, the light is, I guess, less dull because the scratches bounce the light in all these different directions, right? Because they're like a V in the paint.
Yes.
All I know is it works.
Yep.
And it works very well.
And what you've experienced there is detailing's version of mansplaining. It's detail-splaining.
So how would you explain it?
It fills, gives you a smoother surface, more reflection.
There you go.
Nick can be very verbose, which is a good thing in life. I'm breviloquent, which for some people is a turnoff, but it's very efficient.
Terse.
No, not terse.
No?
Breviloquent.
I don't know
Big
the word.
difference.
Okay.
Breviloquent is being sparse with words, not saying more than what needs to be said. Put it this way, someone asks you a question, and you can answer that question with yes or no.
If you're missing an emoji in your response to the YouTube comment, don't be sad. It's just Ivan's way of communicating.
Right.
He won't put a smiley face, but he might mean it. He just doesn't want to waste punctuation or letters.
No, so a breviloquent sentence is one that answers the most succinct way possible. So in someone's mind like mine who's breviloquent, we can actually, to us, a full sentence is yes or no. Because if that's the answer to the question, I don't have to say yes, but this, and this. The answer is yes, it's yes. The answer is no, it's no. And in the case of the gloss on this paint, the answer is definitely yes.
The answer is definitely yes to the gloss, to the shine. The answer is no to would I ever want one of these now that I've cleaned one.
No, they're a beautiful vehicle. They're a lot of fun. But like I said, it's a commitment to own one of these. And speaking of commitments to own, you own a Jeep now, Nick. And a lot of you think, Bronco versus Jeep. Let's show you a video of a Jeep.
Right here.